to you was never second best. I saw the world crashing all around your face, never really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you
Happy Friday, Oaklawn race fans. We come back with another action-packed card, 10 races, including a stakes, an overnight stakes of the Silks, I believe. Is that
the Silks
the
overnight
Silks overnight stakes?
Named after a shameless plug here, named after a very, very tasty, scrumptious restaurant.
Yes, located inside the casino, and we've got a food and beverage special for you today that we are giving our fans, maybe a little early Christmas gift.
Yes.
I'm Nancy Holthus, joined with our track announcer, Matt Dinnerman. Matt, I know there was no podcast this week because you were a little under the weather.
Yeah, a little under the weather. That's what happens sometimes during the holiday season. You know, we're all trying to get our races done and buy all the presents, and sometimes the stress and the immune system maybe isn't as effective, and there you go. But the good news is that the timing was perfect.
Yes.
Started out feeling great on Monday. Today, I'm close to 100%.
Perfect. And I call it the Oaklawn crud because
like
it usually starts in the backside and then it
Yeah.
works its way over to the front side. So
Right.
with the major temperature changes that we've had, a lot of people are feeling the effects of that.
Sure. So just wash your hands and be thoughtful
and
of
stay
others
hydrated.
and stay hydrated.
Yes,
That's it.
that is
a lot
key.
of water.
We think, you just really need to drink in the summer, but you definitely need it in the winter because it's more dry.
And the Silks restaurant has a really scrumptious like brownie dessert. None of those this week. I had to get, protein, vitamins, that sort of thing. So no brownie from the Silks for me this
Get that
week.
vitamin C in you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day outside in Hot Springs, so let's take a look at our weather page as track is fast, 0 wind, and it is sunny. And right now, 44 degrees. I think that's going to go up maybe a whole 10 degrees before we get through the race card. So we had a couple good days off, but let's also take a look at some leaders. So we've got some dominant right out of the gate. Christian Torres and Ramon Vasquez are topping our rider division as they each have 5 wins. And Mark Cassie and Kenny McPeak off to a very good start as well. Both of them making 3 trips to the winner's circle. So a very productive opening weekend for those. Frost Free returns against allowance runners early in the card, and also a $1 Classics as that returns with a carryover of more than $45,000, and that does start in race number 5. So make sure you do that handicapping. Sprinters will line up in the Silks Overnight Stakes, and because we are running a property overnight stakes, we're going to give $10 burgers and half-price appetizers today in Mainline and in Silks. And I guess Matt just prompted the brownie or the hot lava cake or something that's over there. It sounds delicious. We did see an impressive maiden winner with Decode from the barn of Ray Ashford, who is targeting the Southwest Stakes. That is at the end of January when we come back from our 3-week hiatus. And don't forget to swipe. Very important. You get that card, start swiping and earn points, or entries, I should say, to tomorrow's Christmas Cash. We'll be giving away a lot of money, races 1 through 7. So we did see some really impressive maiden runners. As I mentioned, Matt Decode, who was that victory gained a lot of newsworthy articles across our industry, so very impressive performance.
It was as impressive as you could have seen from a first-time starter. And actually, I know you were on Steve Bick's show last week. I was on today. If you're a fan of the Steve Bick show, yours truly and Nancy, we're going to be on every week discussing Oaklawn. So a lot of good Oaklawn content. If you want to listen to At the Races, Steve Bick, you can listen online. We talked about Decode, and I was just talking about how good horses, when you're watching them on track, they don't look like they're going fast. They're just doing it within themselves.
Very effortlessly.
And very much so. And I've never seen Flightline live, but my dad did, and I remember asking my dad what was Flightline like watching live, and he said that it looks like he's just floating over the ground and wasn't going very fast.
Love that.
And Decode was very much the same way. It just looked like he was fast. That was just his speed. Going 2 turns, that's going to be very interesting. He's not the biggest horse. He's not the most physically imposing. It'll be interesting to see if he can take to those 2 turns, or at the very least if he can be as effective. But no doubt about he put his name on the map as one to watch for.
And as we mentioned, targeting the Southwest Stakes, which is at the end of January. But first, we get to run the Smarty Jones in early January, that first Saturday in January, and really get a solid look at the 3-year-olds who will be contending for the Arkansas Derby and later on the Kentucky Derby.
Yes, and we're going to see those nominations come out later this week.
Yes.
I think nominations close today, I believe. So in the next few days, you can go to probably Equibase or Oaklawn.com, and they'll have the full nominations list, including all of the early bird nominations.
Yes, very excited for that. We do have 10 races on today's program, so let's go ahead and get started. We open it up with fillies and mares looking for the graduation picture as they contest maiden special weight condition, and they will go 1 mile. That means that short turn, or that short stretch of our mile run starts and ends at the 16th.
There you go, and we're going to remember that. There's going to be a big yellow finish line sign out there as well. I am picking a horse from a barn that is firing, and it has fired the last few years at Oaklawn. Kenny McPeak's Delicious Diva is going to be my top pick in this race here. I believe I went 7-8-4-2 in this race, so keep that in mind. Delicious Diva coming off a third-place finish last about. Just ran an even third going the one-turn mile at Churchill Downs, and I think this is an easier field than what she finds in her last few races in Kentucky. I just look at the runners she finds here. This is, I think, a little bit of a lighter maiden special weight, and I think that's going to help her. With a few runners in here questioning how fast they are, we know this gal can route. We know she's got stamina. I think this filly is ready to break her maiden today.
Yeah, I'll use Matt's top selection as my second, but I'm going to look closer at the 4-horse. That's Pronghorn. Was a $400,000 purchase and didn't show much on debut down at the fairgrounds last February, running a disappointing 6th, but returned, took a little time off and returned in early November at Churchill, mentioning that one-turn mile against older maiden allowance and ran it was much closer to the pace and exits an improved 4th. So second off the layoff, the barn does very well, and sired by Justify, who is also 16% with runners routing for their second asking. So a really good field of maiden allowance fillies and mares to start off our 10-race card and the first leg of the early 50-cent pick 5. Race number 2, let's continue with our maiden chat, but this is for maiden claiming $20,000. Excuse me, $30,000. It is for 2-year-olds going 3/4 of a mile, and many are taking a drop-in class, and I think a needed drop-in class as well.
Yeah, this is a type of race for runners that have run against tougher, most of them, and just haven't been able to find their friends yet, so they're hoping this is the spot to do it. We're scratching numbers 2 and 4. Huge scratch of Phantom Slayer, who's 8-5 on the morning line. Make the jockey on the 8, I'll Miss You, Alfredo Triana Jr. It says there on the screen. I am taking a runner on the outside here, Kings Cliff, who first time out ran in a restricted maiden special weight, was purchased for just $10,000. So maybe that was a sign that they thought this runner had some ability, and went off at 8-1 too, but didn't run a step that day in the mud. Now gets a fast track, drops in class. I'm not concerned with the class drop here. As I mentioned, this runner was purchased for just 10 grand. So let's just say this horse wins this race and he gets claimed. Well, David Jacobson, who also owns this horse and trains, he's looking at a good payday.
Yeah, he's stacked for the card. Many of these races, he's got 2 of his own competing. I scratched into my top selection, the number 5, Dream of You, coming from the barn of Randy Morse, Abel Cedillo in the irons. I like how much improvement this lady showed, or excuse me, this gentleman showed. Second time out, routed at first asking, kind of a hard task against maiden special weights, but then took that drop in for the tag, today's tag to be precise, and raced 6 furlongs at Churchill and ran a much improved 4th. So we'll see if third time is a charm as we get to debut at Oaklawn this afternoon. Race number 3 is for fillies and mares, non-winners of 3 or non-winners of a race since June 19th, $10,000 purchase price, and they are going to contest 1 mile. And as you can see, several scratches in this field, but that does allow both also eligibles to compete today. And Francisco Arrieta rides the number 1, Oops and Downs as well.
Yeah, Joel Rosario's off his mounts today, so we're going to have a number of rider changes, and that's the first of them for Mr. Rosario. The 13 and 14 drawn to the race. We've got a good-sized field of 10 here. My best bet of the day is Mad About Marie in this $10,000 claimer. Last time out ran for 40 at Churchill Downs going the one-turn mile and ran actually a respectable 4th. Taking a big drop down in class. We saw Gennaro Garcia get aggressive with the spotting with Bright Spark last week, so I'm feeling this is more of the same. Maybe he's just trying to get a win with this one here. Claim for just $20,000. You get a $10,000 claiming win here, and even if this horse gets claimed, you're pretty much breaking even here. So I think this is a good aggressive spot for this filly here.
Well, I'm going to see if I can get one of the more experienced runners to get the score today, and that is Dark Dahlia, coming from the barn of Norm Cassie, Ricardo Santana aboard. One thing doesn't super concern me, but all 3 career wins have been over synthetic, but seems to be training very well over our surface here. So does take a significant drop after a 6th against open $25,000 runners back at Keeneland, and only raced twice last year. So there's always some question marks with those timelines, but taking that significant drop in class, and the blinkers also are going on for the number 5 Dark Dahlia, which is a very high percentage move for the barn. So we'll see how race number 3 fares out, as this is also a first leg of a 50-cent pick 5. Race number 4 is a very talented field. A couple stakes runners are going to maybe flash some speed here in this allowance optional claiming of $125,000, and they're going to contest 6 furlongs. But also you've got 2 of your top horses coming off significant layoffs. Fort Sam will be piloted by Abel Cedillo as well.
Fort Sam 10-1 on the morning line. I'm going to steer away from him. I went to the outside towards it anyway. I thought that counts. Number 8, this horse ran a huge race last time out, first start for the David Jacobson barn. Sat off the pace, made an early move into a fast pace going a 1-turn mile, and just kept rolling. Cuts back from a mile to 6 furlongs. He's going to be fit. And what I like about this horse is that when you look at his 6 furlong races, 3 wins, 2 seconds from 5 starts. So this horse has been very good as a sprinter in past races here. I think this horse is going well. I'd rather be outside in a sprint race where there's a good amount of action on the lead, and that's projected here in this race. So I'm thinking he's going to work out a good trip from there. A lot to like here with thought that counts.
Yeah, I really like this runner as well. Has been super consistent, as Matt mentioned, very solid at the distance, but also has been just really firing on all cylinders lately, in the money the last 7 starts. So having recently won a allowance optional 75, that was, having won against non-2 or 2 other than, around Churchill's 1 mile. So I also like that shortening up. They should be tight and fit and ready to go. Real quickly, let's take a look at the number 1 Minnesota Ready, who comes and takes a class drop after facing stakes runners at Lone Star over the slot. That's a 207-day layoff, and a runner who really impressed us a few years ago. That's Frost Free, who races off a 559-day layoff. So with this type of layoff, I like to see horses get a start under their belt. Yes, they're probably training good and training forwardly in the morning, but sometimes it's that race rust. In fighting they call it cage rust, but race rust kind of get off. So it's going to be interesting how that sets up speed-wise.
It will, and I think when you look at a horse like Frost Free, he's been working quick in the mornings, but he's a naturally quick horse.
Yes.
So I think that could be a little bit deceiving. Not saying he's not working well necessarily. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But usually when I see a horse that's very naturally quick and I see quick works, I sort of take that with a grain of salt, knowing that they're just a naturally quick horse. And actually, you can go on Oaklawn.com and watch workout videos. And I sort of tabbed him as a horse that maybe might need a run, as I put, believe it or not. I just thought that looking at him, he just needed a little more fitness. Now, that was on November 22nd. He's had 2 works since then, but he's going to be close to the pace. And Minnesota Ready, I do want to note, Nancy, sometimes these older horses, it's like a human, right? If you're older, sometimes it does take you a little bit more time to get back in shape if you take a break from the gym, versus someone who's a little younger. As maybe a little comical as that is.
As someone who's older, I agree with you.
Okay. So you can attest, I
can
suppose,
certainly
to
attest
that.
100%.
And that can possibly be the case for a horse like Minnesota Ready. It's all horse by horse. But he himself has been working quickly in the mornings, but he's a quality horse as well.
Yeah, Minnesota Ready and Frost Free posting some very, very sharp works, both having bullet drills under their belt as they come off that significant layoff. Race number 5 is for Arkansas breds, $10,000 claiming for 3-year-olds and up, and they will go 6 furlongs. And this particular field will start our $1 classics. And we do have a carryover of more than $45,000 going in. And again, starts right here with race number 5. Scratch both parts of the entry and still leaves us a pretty competitive group of Arky breds. Very
much so a competitive group. By the way, that carryover is not a jackpot carryover.
Right.
This is a traditional pick six, folks, a $1 minimum with that $45,000 carryover in mind. I'm going to take a look with Allo Henry, who I believe that's actually a reference to Harry Potter, Hagrid. Hello, Henry.
I've never seen or read.
Hello, Harry. But I think it's Allo Henry.
Hello, Henry.
Yeah, like
okay,
that.
Yeah, that was my British.
That's what I was told. Now, this horse has been switching barns, so I don't know who the original owner was. Henry is Henry, not Harry, but I've been told that's sort of like a Hagrid reference, so if you're a Harry Potter fan. Anyway, regardless of the reference, whether I'm right or wrong about that, I'd rather be right that he wins, and I'm hoping that he can win. Coming off a $10,000 run at Remington last time out, didn't run that day. Takes a 2-month freshening for Ingrid Mason, but that was not his best race last time, and he's done some good work here at Oaklawn in the past. He actually really likes it here, so I think he could run his best race here. He's got towards an outside post. He can be close. He can sit off. He's very versatile in that respect. And Tyler Bacon, he has ridden this horse before. Allo Henry is going to be my pick in this race.
I'm going to go just to the outside of Allo Henry with the number 9, Chupapi Monyeyo. Debuts for the barn of Sean Williams and does come off a trio of finishes down in Louisiana, and returns to state breds for the first time. The last time that we saw this runner compete against fellow Archie breds did produce a very nice win. So all 3 career wins are local for this 5 years. I need my glasses. Man, Matt, I'm going.
Put those glasses
5 years
on.
old.
I love how you did. You just threw it
well,
up
they're
there.
readers, so I gotta. Yeah, you wake up at talking about getting old. When you wake up, you have to do your phone like this so you can see what time it is. So it's like a downward spiral for me right now.
It's almost time for a break too, Nancy.
It is time for a break. So with that being said, we'll return with race number 6 to kick off our 50-cent pick 5. We'll be right back.
Tis the season to swipe. Christmas Cash is back with $25,000 in cash. This December, every swipe at our swipe stations could unlock more than just prizes. It could put you on the nice list for a stack of Christmas cash. Here's how it works. Swipe your ID at our swipe stations on Fridays and Sundays for double entries, and on Saturdays for a single entry, all building up to our Christmas cash drawing on Saturday, December 20th, when 4 winners will be called after races 1 through 7 to each win anywhere from $500 to $1,500 in cash. Your Christmas cash is calling, and it starts with your swipe. So don't miss your chance to win big this holiday season at Oaklawn.
Looking for a win? When you sign up for Oaklawn Anywhere, there's an easy way to score a $200 bonus, and it's as simple as placing your next bet. Here's how it works. You sign up, place your bets because that's the fun part, and for every $200 you wager in the first 30 days, Oaklawn gives you $50. $50? Yes! Just keep placing your bets to reach $200 in bonus cash. Easy, right? Every time you hit the $200 mark, you'll get your bonus credited in 3 business days. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for Oaklawn Anywhere, place your bets, and start collecting your bonus. It's as easy as it sounds. Remember, the thrill of racing is always at your fingertips with Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
a great reminder for those stakes closings here on property. So make sure you visit the racing office to get those nominations in prior to closing date. Race number 6 is the first leg of our late 50-cent pick 5, and it is a $25,000 starter allowance for 3-year-olds and upwards sprinting 6 furlongs in distance. Did have a scratch of the number 6 Clamp It, and Eduardo Gallardo will be riding the number 3 Uncashed, which is an interesting.
Yeah, Walter Rodriguez at one mount. He rides a lot for Larry Ravelli, so maybe he didn't maybe he missed his flight. Maybe he just has other engagement. But good for Eddie to pick up a really live mount here with Uncashed. I'm going to try to beat him in this race, though, Nancy. If you look, this horse gets bet every time. His last 12 races, he's gone off favored. He's only won 5 of those times, so half the time he loses.
Yeah.
And there's another pace player in here, Ludwig, that can be close to the pace. King Cab has a lot of speed. So I'm going to take a shot with a runner here that can come from just off of it. His name is Unlimited Potential. Doesn't have a lot of recent one-turn experience. Last time out, he went 7 furlongs at Churchill. I thought ran a really respectable third that day. And the last time he sprinted on the dirt going 6 furlongs, he stalked the pace, drew off, and won at 5-2 in an optional claiming starter allowance and got a 91 buyer. This horse is 1 for 1. That's the only time he's ever gone 6 furlongs. And I think this horse is really well spotted here to surprise at 10-1 with Jaime Torres for Mercan Cantermachi, who, by the way, we're going to see his name plenty here, a new stable here at Oaklawn. He has a pretty strong presence in New York.
Yes, he does, and looks to make that presence known here in the Spa City. I am going to go with the morning line favorite, Uncashed. Larry Ravelli ships this one in, and he's had pretty good success when shipping in just a sprinkling of runners. Super impressive that this horse has produced 11 wins in 23 career starts. And as Matt mentioned, been the betting favorite his last 11. 5 of those, however, did produce a trip to the winner's circle. He scored against starters last out, or 2 back at Hawthorne, and wired the field. So one of those naturally quick runners, looks to be getting out and make a statement early on. And it'll be interesting because, you know, his regular pilot, Walter, was scheduled to come in, so Eduardo Gallardo will take the reins and hopefully really quarter horse this runner out of the gate and get in that good position and continue on with the win streak. And this horse has been known to put wins together. We'll see what happens today.
It's hard to beat Larry Ravelli. I mean, his horses come ready to play, and all the good ones, Nancy, they seem to get out of the gate, go to the front, and just keep rolling. And this horse fits that bill 100%.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. If this horse runs well, we might see more Ravelli horses
possibly
later on in the meet. Race number 7 is for Arkansas bred 3-year-olds and upward, non-winners of 2 and all for the claiming price of $20,000, and they will contest 6 furlongs. Did have, let's see, 2 scratches in here of numbers 2 and 3 are both out. Jaime Torres picks up the mount on the number 9 Azteca Warrior, and Ramon Vasquez will pilot Lord Hennessy, and both also benefit from those scratches as they get to compete this afternoon.
They do. There'll be prices, but they're in the race, and you can't win it unless you're in it. So now we've got still a full field of 12 here, Nancy, to kick off our late pick 4 sequence. My top pick in here is Azteca Warrior. I got to know this guy a little bit over the summer at Monmouth, and he won for fun for maiden 10,000. They bought him for actually, it doesn't say it here, but they bought him for a good chunk of money at one point, even though he is an Arkansas bred, and things didn't really work out for him. But finally, they dropped him in class. He ran off the screen. He was 3-5 against a very, very light group of a smaller group of horses as well. But if he's fit off this 5-month break for Dan Ward, first off the claim, I think he'll be pretty tough in here. That's the concern I have, is really this horse has only worked a couple of 3 furlongs, a couple of halves, but I'm hoping he's fit enough in here to run a good race. He's the best horse off that last run. Even against horses that have a little more seasoning, I still think he's the one to beat. So Jaime Torres picking up a pretty live one here.
Very much so. I'm going to look to the rail, and that is the number 1 Clear Echo, back in the barn of Shea Stewart, Manny Esquivel in the irons. And I like the fact this runner returns to State Bred Company. It's been a while since we've seen this one face fellow Archie breds, but if he is known for that quick early speed out of the gate, and I'm thinking if Manny can really get him in a good, solid position early, as he did last out. He's actually ridden this horse the last 2 starts, so really has gotten a good feel, but they've gone off at much, much higher odds. I think a good position early is going to hopefully be a winning move for the talented 4-year-old who looks for just the 2nd career victory.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
They're all
happens.
non-twos in
Yes.
here, so they've all broken their maidens, but they have yet to beat winners. One of them can change that.
We
today.
see professional maidens and we see some professional non-2 runners
sure.
and non-3. So it's hard to win a race here, and especially at
It
Oaklawn.
is, and it's hard to get out of that non-2 lifetime
Yes.
land, looking to go a non-3 lifetime land. But one of them is going to be able to get that win. And as we've mentioned before, it's all about just being ready to run that day and finding the right group to be successful in.
100%. Race number 8 is the first leg of the $3 Get Out Pick 3, and it is for fillies and mares. A second-level allowance, optional claim price of $62,500, and they will go 6 furlongs. And there's a good amount of speed in here, and that's going to be interesting to see who gets the lead at first call.
It will be. There's a lot of pace in this race. We have a new rider on the 10-pop arena. Evan Roman's going to be aboard for Ron Moquet. I went with a runner from off the pace. This race seems like prime for a price for me, so we're going to go with one. Dami Danu, number 8 at 15-1, who's going to be sitting off the pace. She's had success here at Oaklawn in the past, likes this track, comes off a break of a freshening of 2.5 months for Dwayne Loy. She's got talent. She's the stable star for the Loy barn and has been very consistent as of late at Prairie Meadows. But as I said, she's done good work here at Oaklawn last season. There's just a bunch of speed in here. I don't think Ervadine, number 3, is one you can trust. She hasn't won for 2 years, and there's a lot of pace. She's inside of it. I think an off-the-pace horse can run on and do well, and at the price, I'm going to take it.
Well, I'm going to give Ervadine a shot in here coming from the barn of Dallas Stewart. That's a good old school Southern name, I think. Ervadine. Come on in.
Yeah.
Is looking for the first trip to the winner's circle, as Matt mentioned, since late December of 2023, but she's still getting those checks, which means hitting the board. She does come in with some good form. Exits a pair of seconds in Kentucky against 2 other than levels, and does flash that early speed. She very likely get that first point of call, but it's interesting to see how somebody like Amalfi Drive, who comes in off a significant layoff late August of 2024, very talented, 2 for 2, but that might be somewhat of a big ask coming off that significant of a layoff. But the Mike Stidham Contender is a very nice horse, sired by Godolphin, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one comes off the layoff.
Well, obviously she had talent, and she went off at 30 cents to the dollar, so that's lower than 1 to 2. I was going to say 1 to 2. That's even lower than 1 to 2. First time out, she won for Fun at Delaware, and then she came right back at Colonial and won a good allowance there as the low odds favorite. So she had ability. Big question, when you're off 15.5 months, something must have happened there physically.
Yeah.
So is she going to come back the same? She is a 3-year-old filly, so she was precocious. Now she's facing older runners as well. It's a lot to ask of this filly. If she wins, then you got to keep her on your watch list.
Absolutely. Race 9 is our feature in the first leg of the $5 late double. And this is our Silks Overnight Stakes. It's for 3-year-olds contesting 6 furlongs. And a very interesting field here. I think a significant scratch of the number 4, UW, who is out. But that still leaves us with a solid group of 8 to contest for $135,000.
Yeah, this is a really well-done condition by Pat Pope, the Silks Overnight for 3-year-olds, which have not won a sweepstakes. So you get some pretty solid horses in a race like this. I'm going to take another price, just like I did in race 8. We're going to go to Dreamin' Blue. I don't think he's going to be 10-1, especially with one scratch of a horse that certainly figured UW. But he's not going to be the favorite either. This horse, they've tried a few different things with him, turf, long. He's definitely a sprinter. Last time out off of freshening, he ran, I thought, a really respectable 3rd in a race against older. Now he comes back in against restricted 3-year-olds here. He's going to be sitting off the pace. There's not as much speed in race 9, believe it or not, in this sprint as there is in race number 8. It's a little bit of a concern because he does like to come from off of it, but I'm willing to take a shot with this horse who very much, I think, fits against this field assembled here, and his best numbers stack up.
I'm going to look further to the inside with the number 3, Kalahari Dreams. We don't see many Phil Bauer runners, but when he comes in, he certainly does bring us a good one. Luis Saez back in the irons, as he was 3 starts back when graduating from the first level allowance, and that at Saratoga. Those are extremely packed, talented races, and comes off a pair of seconds at Churchill against 2 other than. So certainly think this is a good spot for this 3-year-old. And I like the fact that, as Matt mentioned, there's not a whole lot of speed in the field. This horse has been effective on or off the pace. So with a lack of speed, might inherit the lead by default.
I think there's a good chance that this horse is up on the pace, and especially with Luis Saez riding it, it would appear that he's going to be pretty aggressive with this horse out of the gate. I would think the only one that probably is quick enough to go with this horse is either Sharp Swinger or Divine Justice, but they're not necessarily need the lead horses. So really, you're looking at a field here where there is speed, but none of them need it. So it's going to be a real cat and mouse sort of game. I would say, though, Luis Saez drawing inside of one other speed horse. He's going to have to decide pretty early what he wants to do.
Yeah, and you will see a lot of trainers in situations like this, like get a clean break and get into position. Don't, so it's not go to the front. It's, it's interesting what trainers how their instructions go sometimes as well.
And some, as you know, sometimes jockeys may have something else in mind, but the trainer says, we want you to do this. And sometimes they do it, and other times,
so
as you know, they don't do it.
If the trainer loses, it's on the trainer. But if, when they don't follow instructions, then it's the jock's fault.
And I've no trainers who have told me in the past, I told this rider, we want you to do this. If you lose, it's on me. Do not worry about it. I'll tell the owner, hey, that's on me. Just do this, and we'll be fine.
Absolutely. So a really good running of the Silks Overnight Stakes is our 9th and feature. And don't forget $10 burgers and half-price appetizers today in Mainline and Silks.
Sounds delicious.
It does. I love the burgers here.
They are very good.
They are very good.
Very good burgers.
Race number 10 is for 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3, and that is for the claiming price of $12.5 as they contest 1 mile and a 16th in the nightcap. Again, more scratches, taking out numbers 2, 7, 8, and 10. Both AEs will draw into the body of the race, and I do want to let everyone know that the number 1, Brittany's Dream, is a first-time gelding.
Yes.
So sometimes that can be, what we call it, the ultimate equipment change.
That's right.
But it'd be interesting. A lot of horses do move forward with that. I'm going to call it a handicapping angle.
I think it's a hit or miss angle.
Yes.
It's one of these angles where sometimes horses, not only you think about that they focus better, but another thing that people not always take into account is they lean out. Sometimes horses that are still colts, they keep their weight on pretty good, and when they lean out, it really helps them with their rhythm, their stride, their speed. Other times, though, you geld them and it doesn't do a thing, and they just are who they are. So we're going to find out Brittany's Dream if this gelding here can improve off a couple of poor efforts as of late. You know, I would have never, it wouldn't have been on my bingo card that a horse that ran on Breeders' Cup Day at Del Mar would be in for 12-5 at Oaklawn next time out. That's the case with Tranch, 8-5. He was in an allowance race on Breeders' Cup Day. He wasn't in a Breeders' Cup race. And he didn't run a step at 19-1, but he's in for 12-5 today. He's running out of his conditions today. Could have run for a non-2 lifetime race. I would think he was entered in a race of that caliber last week, which didn't go. So now he's in this non-3 spot. I still think he's the best horse. Adam Kitchingman looking for a win. He's from California. He sent his string here. I'm hoping that maybe he's just trying to get a win here and get aggressive with the spotting. But he's also a hit or miss type of horse. This horse could either run away with it or run poorly, and you go, okay, I guess that's why he's in for 12-5. I didn't have a strong opinion. I'm going to pick him, hoping that he's got something in the tank here.
Yeah, and the positive with Tranch, if this horse runs first, he's still eligible for the condition because he's in for non-3.
Right.
So there you go. You know who you're in with. I'm going to go just to the outside of Tranch with the number 5, Tis Wicked Strong. Sippy Contreras legging up jockey Manny Esquivel. This horse is very good at the distance, 7 seconds in 10 starts, but still looking for that W at the distance. Is going to drop to the lowest level in his career and does exit a pair of seconds in Indiana when returning to the main, and actually was run contested or carded for the turf, but was taken off and run over the main. So kind of showed maybe a little spark when switching to the main track. So going from turf to dirt, third start on the main in a row. So we'll see if Sippy can get this one to the winner's circle off of a freshening. So a very good card stacked for today. Have you looked at tomorrow's yet?
I have.
It's a really good card. I'm impressed. Yeah.
I think every card we've had so far has been good and competitive.
Yes.
Quite a few races where I'm looking at, I can't figure out who's going to win. I have 5 different picks within a 10-minute span.
That's this girl right here.
Okay.
And if I spend too much time on a race, I'll set it aside and then move on, because your brain, I mean, Paul taught me, think long, think wrong.
That's pretty creative.
And it's true because I used to
phrase.
like really get into it and just spend hours and hours on and it's so much because there's so many different forms of information available. So,
Right.
a lot of people handicap different ways, but it's interesting to see how certain people will play out this meet because a lot of horses coming off significant layoffs or haven't, been running as well in other circuits and come here hoping to get a score.
There's so many angles.
Yes.
And we've talked about how horses from all different circuits come here, and it's just a hodgepodge of
Exactly.
different types of horses. And that's one really cool thing about Oaklawn is the money's good at all levels based on what kind of horse you have compared to everywhere else. So just because you come to Oaklawn and you don't have a $500,000 sale purchase doesn't mean you can't be successful here. You can play the claiming game, you can drop, you can raise, you can do all
Yes.
sorts of things. I will note, too, one more thing, Nancy. You were talking about making different picks and putting the race aside. If you have time for it, sometimes we as analysts don't. We have to get our picks in at a
Right.
certain time. But I sometimes will handicap a card early and then actually sleep on it.
Okay.
Take a night's rest, sleep on it, wake up, and maybe for whatever reason my thoughts marinate in my head and I start thinking, maybe I like this horse a little more than I thought. I thought I liked this horse yesterday, and the more I'm thinking about it, maybe I'm steering over this way. So, you need all the luck you can get.
Occupational hazard for us, if you will. Something else happened over the weekend, and I kind of predicted it after the performance, but Skelly has been retired. So happy retirement to the amazing, super freaky fast Skelly. And they haven't determined yet. He's going to a farm to kind of get the racing out of his system down in Florida, and then they haven't decided what his second career is going to be. If he does well in retirement, maybe just be a pasture pet or just, because he's gelded, there's not much you can do with him. He can practice, but he's not going to produce anything.
Right.
Or that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Or he might become a stable pony. You never know.
And some of these horses, they just want to relax and just enjoy time, living their days on a farm.
He's earned it, too.
And he has earned it. And all of our horses, realistically, they all deserve a good home after their careers.
100%.
And we think about the Ring the Bell program, something that's been huge for us here in the state of Arkansas. But also some horses, like a Skelly, maybe their mind is still on, I want to wake up every day and I want to do something.
They
just
love
like
that
humans.
structure. They love that that synchrony, if you will, of that morning routine. But it's going to be interesting if he does become a stable pony, if he's going to, be aggressive on the bit, so to speak.
And he was a very aggressive horse
Yes.
as a racehorse, and also he was a little bit quirky. He had that extension blinker because sometimes he tried to get out on turns. You didn't want to be held too much. You basically had to loose rein him the whole way and just let him do what he wanted to do. But from what I've been told, I'd never met him in the barn, but he was a very relaxed, well-mannered horse in the barn,
I love that.
which is good because then he can be maybe even around little kids, or maybe he can help with therapy. There are a lot of horses that are therapy horses. So there's a lot of different ways you can go with a horse like that. But we will remember him for, of course, his on-track persona,
and
which was speed.
He loved Oaklawn. Oh,
Yes,
my
he did.
goodness. He absolutely was a true horse for course. And I always love that when you're in the paddock and see a horse for course. They're almost, kind of on their toes more and get out and just say, this is where I do my work.
I always say if this horse ran here and the Breeders' Cup dirt races were here, he could win the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
I totally agree with that. We'll never see it, but we can always dream about it. We can dream. Let's go ahead and show you our show bet parlay ticket that we have put together, as well as our long shot of the day and our top pick. Matt also starts in race 1, then goes to 4, 6, 9. I'm going to go early in the card and with Phantom Slayer's out. Let's go 1, 3, 4, and we'll have that 3 race wager. Long shot play of the day for Matt is Demi Danu.
Demi Danu.
Demi Danu.
I think that's
Okay.
Demi Danu.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm going to go race number 7 with the number 1 Clear Echo. Mad About Marie is Matt's top pick in the 3rd, and I'm going to go Urbadine, who is in race number 8. That just to me just sounds like a good old-fashioned Southern name. It just does.
I can hear it like Irvadine and then like the dinner bell ringing. Come on, get
Come
some
on,
dinner.
Urbadine. Come in, get you some vittles. When you grow up Southern, you hear it all, trust me.
Yes.
Really great day of racing action. So our picks are up on the website and at the information booth. And if you haven't done so yet, please get an Oaklawn Rewards card. It is worth it. You can get one for free at the information booth and start earning points towards your wagers. And when you accumulate those points, you can use them across property. And that's something very cool that we are doing for our racing players. I love that.
Very much so a good thing for the player, which you don't see at any other racetrack casino around the country. So
we do a lot of things first, and people, pick it up. Flattery is the biggest, what did they say? Flattery is the big, wait.
It is, why am I losing my train of thought?
Well, I lost my thought a long time ago.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Thank you.
And I'm just looking over, you folks can't see it at home, but look at all these people in the restaurant.
I love it. And everybody's decked out having holiday parties in Mainline. So,
they're earning points, Nancy.
They are
That's
earning
what they're doing.
points.
Just by eating some good chicken tenders or whatever.
And I hope they're eating
points.
a $10 burger and ordered some half-price appetizers.
That'd be a pretty smart thing to do.
Yeah. So a lot of action here today. Andy Biancone will be joining us in the paddock. And if you saw on social media, she has gotten engaged to Keith Asmussen. So very excited for that young couple. They'll be the new power duo in racing.
And kudos to Keith. He went big with the with giving her the ring in Hong Kong.
Yes.
That was the way to do it. So Keith, well done.
Well done. I mean, how are you gonna? I mean, you're gonna top the wedding with the engagement. They're going to go to Dubai for the wedding?
I think between the Biancones and the Asmussens, they can figure out a way to have a fun time.
Maybe they'll get married on horseback.
That'd be fun.
People
or down
do
at
that.
the Asmussen farm. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Down in Laredo.
Something horse-related's got to come out of that.
1000%.
If they don't have a horse in the wedding, then we got to call another party planner, whoever they're going to hire.
Yeah, exactly. So for Matt Dinnerman, I am Nancy Holthus. Don't forget that pick 6, that classics carryover of more than $45,000 that does start in race number 5. So Matt's going to head to the roof. You'll see me down in the paddock throughout the day. Good luck and good racing.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park. Folks, without further ado, we now ask you to please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our nation's anthem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can now get out your pens, pencils, and programs because we now have today's changes. Here they come. Our dirt track listed as fast today. Sunny skies, 47 degrees currently, no winds coming in today. And again, our dirt track is fast. Here come the changes. The first race begins the early pick 5. We're clear. There's no changes in race number 1. The second race starts the early pick 4, scratch number 2, Phantom Slayer, and scratch number 4, Onyx Outlaw. Numbers 2 and 4 both scratched out of race 2. Also in the second race, the rider on number 8, I'll Miss You, will now be Alfredo Triana Jr. Alfredo Triana Jr. riding number 8, I'll Miss You, in race number 2. In the third race on the card, start of the middle pick 5, scratch number 3, Spin the Breeze. Scratch number 6, Little Dixie, and scratch number 11, What's to Do. Number 12, Crushed Ice is out as well. Numbers 3, 6, 11, and 12, all out of race number 3. With these 4 scratches, the 2 also eligibles, numbers 13 and 14, drawn to the race, they will run. Also in race 3, we have a rider change on number 1, Oops and Downs. Make the rider Francisco Arrieta. Francisco Arrieta rides number 1, Oops and Downs, in race number 3. Jockey Joel Rosario is off his mounts this afternoon. And also in race 3, number 7, Be a Queen, is 3 pounds overweight. 9, Courtney Fay, 2 over. In the fourth race, start of the middle pick 4, races 4 through 7, we have a rider change there. The jockey on number 4, Fort Sam, will now be Abel Cedillo. Abel Cedillo riding number 4, Fort Sam, in race 4. In the fifth race, we scratch number 1, Shea Wiz, also scratch number 1A, Jack Spring Break. Numbers 1 and 1A both out, the entry out of race number 5. The fifth race starts the $1 Class 6. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a $1 wager, races 5 through 10 the sequence, and we have a $45,000 carryover in the Class 6, beginning in race number 5. In the sixth race, start of the late pick 5, scratch number 6, Clamp It. Number 6, Clamp It, is out of race number 6. Also in the sixth race, the rider on number 3, Uncashed, will now be Eddie Gallardo. Eduardo Gallardo rides number 3, Uncashed, in race number 6. In the seventh race on the program today, scratch number 2, Time and Beyond, and scratch number 3, Gray Straight. Numbers 2 and 3 are out of race number 7. The 13 and 14 also eligibles drawn to the race. They will run, and we have 2 rider changes in race number 7. Number 9, Azteca Warrior, will now be Jaime Torres. Jaime Torres rides number 9, Azteca Warrior, in race 7. And the rider on number 14, Lord Hennessy, make the jockey there, Ramon Vasquez. Ramon Vasquez aboard number 14, Lord Hennessy, in race 7. In the eighth race on the program today, jockey change on the 10, Pop Arena, make the rider Evan Roman. Evan Roman rides number 10, Pop Arena, in race number 8. The ninth race is our feature race, the $135,000 Silks Overnight Stakes for 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs. Scratch number 4, UW. Number 4, UW, is out of race number 9, the Silks Overnight. The last race is race number 10 today. In the finale, scratch number 2, Betterra, scratch number 7, Reveille Valley, scratch number 8, Guadalajara, and scratch number 10, One More Story. Numbers 2, 7, 8, and 10, all out of race number 10. Numbers 13 and 14 drawn to the race. They will run. Also, please note, number 6, Mansoura, is 6 pounds overweight. And number 1, Brittany's Dream, please note, is a first-time gelding. That's the one in race 10. Those are all the changes, ladies and gentlemen. 25 minutes until the opener. Enjoy your afternoon watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park.
Oaklawn is making the easiest bet in racing more fun and more profitable for its on-track customers by offering the one-of-a-kind show bet bonus during the live meet.
We want you to enjoy the pleasure of cashing a ticket. With this bet, the payoff on show wagers made at Oaklawn will be higher than the payoff on the same show wager made off-track or through advanced deposit wagering services.
Fans will be able to follow the show bet bonus throughout the race day on a special display that will appear on the tote boards and will be shown on in-house TVs.
With show wagering, all you have to do is finish first, second, or third. The display will clearly indicate the higher payout on every winning show wager made at Oaklawn.
We want to increase your opportunity to cash tickets, which puts more money in your pocket.
Time to place your bet.
Oaklawn Hot Springs is here for when you need to break away, when you want to reconnect, when you say yes, when you deserve to treat yourself, when you decide to roll the dice, when you need to refuel, reset. It's all here. So what are you waiting for? Plan your stay at Oaklawn Hot Springs and come join the fun.
What do you give to the person that has everything this season? Give the gift of Oaklawn. Dine, relax, stay, shop, repeat. Gift cards redeemable across property and available for purchase at our Oaklawn retail stores.
what you're doing with a clown like me is surely one of life's little mysteries. So tonight I'll light the stars above. How did I ever win your love? What did I do? What did I say to turn your angel
And the runners are now making their way onto the track for the first race, a maiden special weight race. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, going a mile. In this race, there's no changes. In the first race, there's Win Play Show, Exacta, Trifecta, Superfecta wagering. Early daily double, early pick 3 wagering begins here, and we also kick off that early pick 5 bet. 8 minutes until race number 1. This race is going to start and end at the 16th pole. If you take a look at that green and yellow pole out there with the yellow finish line sign, we are going to start and end this race there. 8 minutes until the opener on a 10-race program here at Oaklawn. $91,000 in the early pick 5 pool, and the pool continues to increase. Remember, that's races 1 through 5 with a 50-cent minimum wager, 2 minutes to post time.